He lived hidden away, deep in meditation, wanting nothing but peace and solitude. Yet, a handwritten letter arrived, and with it, the crushing weight of a world in crisis fell upon his shoulders, demanding he step forward from his quiet retreat. This was Tegh Bahadur, born a prince, youngest son of the formidable sixth Guru, Hargobind. From a young age, his spirit pulled him towards contemplation, not conflict, towards the silent chambers of devotion rather than the clamor of courts. After his father's passing, he retreated to a quiet village called Bakala, immersing himself in profound spiritual practice. He sought no fame, no followers, no throne, only the timeless communion of the divine. His initial inclination was not a rejection of duty, but a deep spiritual humility, a desire to serve the divine in stillness. But destiny, as it often does, had a far more public and perilous path in mind for him. Have you ever felt an undeniable calling, one that pulls you from your comfort, from your carefully constructed quiet life, into the very eye of a storm? What is it like to know you are needed, not by choice, but by a higher purpose that seems to choose you? For 20 years, Tegh Bahadur remained in Bakala, a recluse known only to a few, his days spent in deep spiritual practice. Then, in 1664, the 8th Guru, the child Guru Har Krishan, lay dying in Delhi. Asked about his successor, he simply uttered Baba Bakale, meaning the next Guru was to be found in Bakala. Confusion swept through the Sikh community. Many impostors claimed the title. But a wealthy merchant, Makan Shah Labana, shipwrecked and vowing a large offering to the true spiritual teacher, the Guru, if saved, arrived in Bakala. He went to every claimant, offering a mere 2 coins. Each accepted. Finally, he came to Tegh Bahadur, who quietly reminded him of his original vow to offer 500 gold coins. Makan Shah, overwhelmed by this sign of true spiritual insight, climbed to the rooftop, shouting, "Guru Lado Re, the Guru is found!" With deep reluctance, but knowing his path was now clear, Tegh Bahadur accepted the mantle. He became the 9th Guru, carrying the torch of spiritual light in an increasingly dark age. His message was one of unwavering fearlessness, known in Punjabi as Nirbhai, and spiritual freedom, emphasizing a life of truth and purity amidst worldly challenges. He traveled extensively across northern India, bringing solace and wisdom to the common people, establishing new centers of Sikh faith. He knew that to truly serve, one must be connected to the people, to understand their struggles and offer guidance. Meanwhile, the Mughal Empire under Emperor Aurangzeb was tightening its grip. Aurangzeb, a devout Muslim, visioned an India united under Islam, and his policies became increasingly oppressive towards non-Muslims. Temples were destroyed. A discriminatory tax called jizya was rigorously enforced on non-Muslims, and forced conversions became rampant. For the followers of Sikhi, a distinct faith rooted in the teachings of Guru Nanak, a path independent of both Hinduism and Islam, this was a time of profound threat. Their belief in the equality of all people and the oneness of God stood in stark contrast to the emperor's dogma. The situation became unbearable, especially in Kashmir, a region known for its devout Hindu population. Faced with the stark choice of conversion or death, a desperate delegation of Kashmiri Pandits, led by Pandit Kirparam Dutt, traveled all the way to Anandpur Sahib, seeking the Guru's intervention. They bowed before Guru Tegh Bahadur, their faces etched with despair, recounting the atrocities, the forced conversions, the systematic dismantling of their religious freedom. They implored him, as a spiritual leader of immense moral authority and courage, to intercede on their behalf. The Guru listened, his heart heavy with the suffering of strangers, people of a different faith.
He retreated into deep contemplation. The weight of their plea, the immense danger involved in defying an emperor, pressed down on him. At that moment, his young son, Gobind Rai, then just 9 years old, found him deep in thought. "Father, why do you look so troubled?" he asked. Guru Tegh Bahadur explained the plight of the Kashmiri Pandits, describing how a great sacrifice was needed to awaken the emperor's conscience and protect the people's dharma, their righteous way of life. The young Gobind Rai, without hesitation, looked up at his father and bravely declared, "Who would be more worthy than you, father, to offer this sacrifice?" The profound words of his son and the unwavering conviction within his own heart solidified the Guru's resolve. He announced his intention to travel to Delhi to confront the emperor and challenge his policy of religious persecution. He knew the immense personal risk, the almost certain outcome of such a confrontation. This was not a military campaign, but a spiritual one, a testament to the power of conviction against tyranny. He traveled with a few devoted disciples, knowing that each step brought him closer to an inevitable and fateful confrontation with imperial power. Aurangzeb, already wary of the Guru's growing influence and his message of equality, saw his journey as an act of defiance. Guru Tegh Bahadur was arrested in a village near Delhi and brought to the capital, imprisoned in an iron cage. The emperor's ministers demanded he either embrace Islam or perform a miracle to prove his divinity. The Guru calmly refused both. He would not compromise his faith, nor would he perform a spectacle that cheapened true spiritual power. His refusal was not stubbornness, but a profound commitment to his principles and the freedom of conscience for all. To break his spirit, his companions were tortured and executed before his eyes. Bhai Mati Das was sawn in half. Bhai Sati Das was wrapped in cotton and burned alive. Bhai Dayalaji was boiled in a cauldron. These were not random acts of violence, but acts of shahidi, martyrdom, a supreme act of witness for one's faith and conviction. Each of them met their fate with incredible, stoic courage, refusing to recant, providing a powerful testament to the Guru's teachings of fearlessness. They showed what it truly meant to hold one's truth dearer than life itself. Even after witnessing the horrific deaths of his dearest companions, Guru Tegh Bahadur remained unshaken, his resolve firm. On November 11, 1675, in a public square in Chandni Chowk, Delhi, he was offered one last chance to convert. He refused. With quiet dignity, he offered his head. His shahidi was not a defeat, but a profound victory of spirit over oppression. It was an act unprecedented in its scope, a leader of one faith sacrificing himself to protect the religious freedom of another fundamentally different faith. What was truly at stake that day was not merely the Guru's life, or even the immediate fate of the Kashmiri Pandits. It was the fundamental human right to conscience, the freedom to believe or not believe for all people, regardless of their path. Guru Tegh Bahadur's sacrifice earned him the revered title Hind Di Chadar, the Shield of India. He became a beacon of courage, demonstrating that moral authority and unwavering conviction could challenge and ultimately expose even the most absolute tyrannical power. His act profoundly shaped the future of Sikhi, inspiring his son Guru Gobind Singh to create the Khalsa, a spiritual brotherhood of initiated Sikhs committed to defending righteousness and justice. The Khalsa became the embodiment of the Guru's legacy, ready to stand as protectors of the weak, wielding not just a kirpan, the ceremonial sword carried by initiated Sikhs, but the unyielding strength of spiritual principle itself.
This story is a powerful reminder that sometimes the greatest service to the world comes not from seeking its accolades or power, but from standing firm against its darkest currents, even when the personal cost is immeasurable. It shows us that true leadership often means being willing to pay the ultimate price for the freedom of others, leaving an indelible mark on history that speaks louder than any imperial decree.